Hey guys, the free technology I want to introduce to you today, perhaps some of you may be using this already, but if you're not, um, is Edulastic. And the reason that I selected this particular resource is it's free, it's easy to collaborate, very user-friendly. It works with Google Classroom. It provides instant data, instant feedback, and auto grading, which makes life easier, specifically with formative assessments. The purpose of this would be to give my peers a free resource to do formative and summative assessments. And I'm going to give a step-by-step how-to on how to use Edulastic. The ISTE standards that I covered were for the educators was number 4, which is collaborator. Educators dedicate time to collaborate with both colleagues and students to improve practice, discover, and share resources and ideas and solve problems. Educators will dedicate planning time to collaborate with colleagues to create authentic learning experiences that leverage technology. And number 5, designer. Educators design authentic learner-driven activities and environments that recognize and accommodate learner variability. Educators will use technology to create, adapt, and personalize learning experiences that foster independent learning and accommodate learner differences and needs. With Edulastic, like I said, it is for formative and summative assessments or homework, if you will. It's interesting how I stumbled upon this. In my school email, I get junk mail from time to time, and for whatever reason, I decided to open this one up, and I just started kind of playing around with it, and ended up realizing what a great resource it was, and I've shared this with my peers at school, and it is already surfaced into the English Language Arts Department as well. They're finding it as a fantastic resource as well. So it's pretty easy to sign up, guys, especially if you have a Google account through your school district. You can just click on sign in with Google, or you can come over here and sign in using your full name, your teacher, school email, and a password, and click sign in. If you already have an account, you can click sign in up here. So we're going to click in with sign up with Google. And I will go in my Pickerington Local Schools account so I can show you some of the stuff that I have been doing so far this year. And it's as easy as that. Once you sign in with your Google account, you will be brought to a dashboard like this where you can manage your classes. And as you can see, I have my regular Math 7 class here, my Advanced 7 here. This is our team building time, team-based building time, which is after school stuff. There's nothing in there yet. And so it's pretty easy. You go up here and you can click Manage Class, and you can see my classes right there. I have 28 students in my advanced and 107 in my regular Math 7. And if you want to create a class, you can do this. You can type in a class name. I will type in Stubbs Enrichment and Intervention. And if I want to make this the last day of school, which would be May 24th, I can select the grade that I teach, and then mathematics, and then the standards I'll be using would be the Ohio Math, and then I can save my class. Please enter a valid class name. stubs, let's say math, enrichment, and intervention. And there is my class. And I can give the students this class code if I want them to join my class that way. Or I can enter your Google Classroom code right there, and you can sync your Google Classroom, which is what I would recommend, especially if you have a lot of students. It's pretty easy to do that. The only thing is with that, if a new student joins your classroom, your Google Classroom, say you have a student that comes in a little bit later in the year, you're going to have to go back through and upload the class again into Edulastic. You can add multiple students this way by typing in their email account. But like I said, if you have a lot of students, I would recommend going in through Google. So let's go over here to the side and look at some of the things. If you click on the clock here, it takes you back to your dashboard. Over here on that plus arrow on the clipboard, this brings up my assignments for my advanced math class, and you can see the assignments there. A little disappointing, only 13 of my 28 students did the Unit 2 review test, but you can see how many people submitted the other ones. Here's some recent assessments. These date back into last year. And then I can go to all of my assessments there. Right here would be your question bank, which has, you can see 2,428 questions, depending upon what you click. So I guess kind of the main point here, and then there is a library of all the assessments. If you click on that, this is the standards, but in order to do this, you have to use the paid site. So now if we go back up here, let's go in. So click one of your classes. I'll click my advanced class. And if I come up here, I can click New Assessment. Now, at this point, I have an option if I want to create my assessment from scratch, or if I can choose one from the library. So let me create one from scratch. Since we are working on proportions, let me type in proportions advanced 7. And I'll type in the year, and then we'll create the assessment. Okay, so I want to take the 8th grade off there because you can add multiple grades. So let's start with grade 7, and then I'll take these off here. So you can select the standards that you would like to use. So with this particular assignment, since we are doing proportions, if I go in here, click ratio and proportional relationships, I can click what standard of questions, and let's just select all of those. Click done. Now right here under that in the collections, you can choose which library, a private library, school library, district library. I'm going to choose to put this in our school library. That way, I'm sorry, let's go. Oops. Let's go private library, or I'm sorry, school library. Get that off there. That way other teachers that I'm collaborating with can also see this. And then I have a choice of what I want. If I want multiple choice, multiple section, expression evaluator, numeric, passage board, A lot of times I just leave this as all types. Depth of knowledge, you can have recall, skill concepts, strategic thinking, extended thinking. I always leave that as all depth. And then difficulty, I also leave that as all difficulty. Depending upon what students you're giving this to, this is a great way to differentiate the assignment. Now, if I click into this, let me take, so adds educated Elastic certified. So I can see 526 questions are in this bank. And just for the sake, let's just pick the first 5 so I can show you. Pick one more here, and then we can hit review. And there you will see the different type of questions, the standards that are being used, and then you just click publish and assign. And you can put down what date you want this to start, what closing date. If you close automatically on the due date, you probably want to click close manually because you won't be able to get back in it if not. And then since I'm doing this for the advanced, it says no student selected. I will come and hit the drop down menu, select all, click assign. Now right here, this is pretty easy. So right now it's a private library, so I'm going to click add to school library. That way all of my teachers that I collaborate with in the math department can use that if they want. And I can copy and paste this and then put it in my Google Classroom. That way the students who are all logged into their Google Chromebook, as soon as they click on their link in my classroom, it will take them right there. Since nobody has responded, there won't be anything in there. So there's what you will see. All the students have the 5 questions, and as they answer them, we'll go back here and check out one of the assessments that students have answered. If we go to, let's go to this one right here. And you can see in green, the student got the question all right. Red is incorrect, and orange is probably a question where students can get partial credit. And then it constantly keeps the score running. So right now this student had a 10.88 out of 22. They've only answered 11 questions. So I can see that they're doing very well. And these update as the students answer each question, which is great instant feedback. So that is pretty much all there is to it. It's one of those things you go around and play around with it for a little bit, and you're going to find out some great things. Like I said, it's great for collaboration. It's very user-friendly. I love that it works in connection with Google Classroom, and the instant data and the auto grading are great features of this. Specifically, I found this trying to get my students ready for the AIR test last year because if you look into creating assessment, you can click choose from the library, and there's all kind of assessments already created, AIR test practice previews already. So it is a very great resource. I encourage you to try it out, and I really hope that you find as much success as I have with this. So thank you very much.